Here we go. Once again, Rule Galloway, Spinners of Yarns. For the second time we've done an interview, because the first time it didn't work because I didn't record it. We have Affif from Himnos and Mess from Mexico. How are you?
That's right. Hi, Ro. How are you, man?
Good. We're going through it all again.
Yeah, no problem. That was a really good chat, man.
to put some grounding behind it, about 4 months ago, your band Mess, Himnos did a cover of an On Parole song called Condemned, which I was involved with 40 years ago. And the song was featured on a No Future Records compilation called A Country Fit for Heroes Volume 2. And over the past 10 years, I've been watching it getting a bit of notoriety and a bit of applaudit. So when I saw your video and you'd covered it, it was kind of like a great honour for me and the other band members that I still speak to regularly. So thank you. When did you first hear the song?
Yes. Well, basically, that song was introduced by my friend Danny that lives in London. He's from Galicia, but he has like 20 years living in London. He gave me an LP, A Country Fit for Heroes 2. So basically, it's a really fucking good compilation, to be honest, both of them. And when I first listened, it's like when you first hear a song and everything, it's like in the right moment, the right melody that is stuck in your head. It was for me like that song, and for me, basically, it's personally one of the best voice songs, to be honest. Every time that I hear it, the sound of the guitar, how it's composed, and obviously the lyric also, because it's part of punk to be identified sometimes. Even that some of the lyrics I didn't understand it 100% because the accent.
I mean, even though I knew them and I could sing them, from the top, I struggle now to understand certain words and certain lyrics of the song. So it's you've done a great job of it. So it's I mean, when did you first discover punk as well? I suppose punk and oi. When did that come into your life?
Yeah, it was like 24 years ago when I was like 13, 14 years old. I was into skate, graffiti, being in the street, and I think my older brother brought up some punk records. I think it was Rancid, and I think the other band was Spanish punk bands like Scorbuto and Rip, if I'm not wrong. Obviously, they were listening. Also, my brother was a lot into ska and reggae. But yeah, first of all, when we were skating and being skate punks or whatever, we were listening a lot of. We started to listen to Rancid, skate punk music from the United States, but also from Europe. Mix it up with hardcore, like 59 Times the Pain. And then they started to listen to The Clash. And then I think it was a record from Cock Sparrer, and from the time that I listened to Cock Sparrer at that time, it was all the turnover, to be honest, when I started to listen to oi.
So was it easy to see any of these bands in Mexico?
At that time, no, and right now it's still not really easy. It was more the bands that you can see it. It was more bands from the United States, Misfits or NoFX, those kind of bands. I never was a lot into American or punk bands like NoFX and like that, or California punks or whatever they call it. I was more into Scorbuto, Rip, or ska music or hardcore music. But it's more easier to see those kind of bands. And oi bands, basically, there was no way to listen at that time. Right now, yes, there started to be to bring more boy bands to Mexico, and thanks to that is for do it yourself, because we are the ones to bring those bands to Mexico. So I also do gigs. I organize gigs also, and if you want to see the bands that some of the favorite bands in your country and nobody's doing it, do it yourself. So the only reward you have is that you bring them here and you introduce those bands to the people that can't travel to another countries or another cities. So yeah, because there's no gain on bringing punks or oi bands to another country. And even if you have the consideration that we earn in Mexican pesos, it's like, for example, the pound is 27, 25 or 27 more stronger coin than Mexican coin. So it's 20 times more expensive. So that's why Americans bands too. 20, it's right now $20 is like, or no, $1 is 20 pesos, 20 times much. And sometimes bands don't get it, or the majority of they get it, but sometimes bands don't get it. That we're this is the price that we give you to pay us to bring us, and sometimes they don't make the comparison that we don't earn that money. We don't earn in pounds or dollars. But yeah, basically yes. If you want to bring some bands, you need to do it yourself. There's a lot of promoters now. You can. It's more easier to see a lot of bands of any kind of genres of any subculture. But yeah, basically 10 years ago, 15 or 20 years ago, it was a lot harder. There was some bands there coming to Mexico, but it was more harder than now.
When did punk first come over to Mexico? Were there punk bands in the 70s?
Yeah, there was the first Mexican punk band was called Dangerous Rhythm. Obviously, they put the name because this song from Ultravox, they were from the 78 and started the first music they put it was in 79, I guess, and it's fucking amazing. I love it, to be honest. And they bring the 77 punk to Mexico. And obviously at that time, the people that can travel to New York or London is the people that have money. So they were a higher class, to be honest. I don't know if they were rich, like really rich, to be honest, no. But I know they were from a higher class or high class. But they're the one to bring the music down to Mexico. And they made this band that was called Dangerous Rhythm. It's fucking amazing. The music that they put it on some EPs and one album or two. After that, this band converted like a rock band. Like it was really known in the 80s and 90s in Mexico, but it was not a punk band anymore. And they changed the name in Spanish, that is Ritmo Peligroso, that is Dangerous Rhythm. But that's another story. But yeah, basically that's the first band. Also, there was like what another band, Rebel the Punk, etc., etc. But there was a lot of bands on the 80s. So yeah, it was a really really strong movement of punk bands in Mexico since the 80s. I think the beginnings of the 80s. But yeah, the first band, it was Dangerous Rhythm.
But you started to play the guitar in when you were in your teenage years?
Yeah, when I was like 15 or 16 years, it was the first time that I grabbed a guitar, trying to play it like. We were supposed to be doing a band, a punk rock band, playing misfit songs and sometimes some metal songs. But at that time, I was really distracted because I was into girls, graffiti, skating, fighting, and stuff like that. So I didn't take it seriously. But it was the first anthem that had a band playing music songs and really, really, really easy, or at least, yeah, easy songs. And it was only for certain time. So, but it was till 20 years later or 24 years later I grabbed another guitar. It was on 2015 when we create Himnos. So yeah, basically we were talking the best player, Carlos, and Miguel, that is the drummer. That also is the drummer from Mess. I bring the idea that we need to do a oi band in the city because right now there's no oi bands. There were there were some bands, oi bands, but 10 years ago in Guadalajara or more. And I told them that we need to do like a oi band, more related to oi from the UK than the people perceive the oi from Spain. More, it's more like hardcore punk than oi. And yeah, they liked the idea, and basically, yeah, they say I have my bass, I have my drum, and I was like, okay, I'm going to buy a guitar, and that's when I started to play guitar again. So yeah,
So that was
basically playing and learning.
so that was 2015 when Himnos formed.
Yeah, in December of 2015, starting to rehearsal in 2016.
And one of the things that we spoke about before was the how do you come up with the content for your lyrics?
Oh, okay. Yes. Well, basically the lyrics. Obviously, the singer is the majority of them he created. Everyone has their ideas and everything. I wrote some of the music also on both bands. But it depends. We talked about it. It depends the situation. Sometimes we talk about stuff that it has not a lot of relevance, like everything, camaraderie, friendship, football, fights. But also the reality that we live. Also another reality that is the daily life. There's politics. There are things that are happening around us, and we can being in the middle of it, and we're blind, we don't see nothing. No, we're not in that time. So we're also writing of social issues and politics. But right now, as I told you before, we're trying to the new music that they're writing right now, they're going to be, I don't know, the next album. We tend to focus more in the melody, because we think we lack a little bit of it or a lot of it, but we need to level up on the melody stuff. So yeah, basically, the new things that we're going to be creating is going to be really focused on melody, and obviously not so boring lyrics that can transcend. I mean, we're not writers or lyricists, but we're going to try to do our best to create more diverse lyrics than the obvious one in punks,
How did it? Because you've just come back from playing in Blackpool at Rebellion. How did that come about?
It was fucking great, really fucking amazing, really fucking good experience. We met a lot of new friends and old ones that we saw. We play on Saturday. Before us, it was this band from Chile that is called Sudor Obrero. It's also an oi band. I have them like 20 years playing. It was fucking amazing. There was a lot of people seeing them. But then we play us, and we play also in Spanish. So we were like, maybe there's not going to be a lot of people because the language barrier, and we were in the introduction stage. We are not known band. We are new band from another continent, another country, another language. So those two bands in a row singing in Spanish, sometimes some people, I don't know, get bored or whatever. And at the same time that we were playing, there were the samples playing also, that I loved the samples and wanted to see them. It was also Gin Feast and Bull Brigade from Italy. I don't know what another band, but we were like, awesome. Maybe there are going to be like 20 people, but we don't care. We're going to enjoy this. This is like a dream come true and whatever. And what was of course surprised that suddenly we saw like 500 people seeing us or more. They respond really well. It was fucking amazing. They can be seen at the same time the samples or Gin Feast or whatever. And they were listening to us, and I think we played really great. We did a really amazing cover of On Parole, obviously.
So which other bands did you see at Rebellion?
A lot of the new ones and also new ones. For me, The Boys, where they were fucking good. Little Fingers, Coxsparrow, Crown Court, with a new lineup. They were good, to be honest. My first time that I saw them. obviously the homies from the Chisel, they were really fucking good. Also, the first time that I saw them, Broken Cough from California, also from the in the introduction stage, they played fucking amazing. And I think I didn't see Exploited because they play at the same time that as Cox Parker, neither from the Jam. But I saw Harry Flanagan Chromax. It was fucking good, to be honest. What else? Million Dead Cops. And a lot of others. Sweat Racers, Patriot. They were good also. Ultrasec was good. What else? There are some bands, some mythical ones. It's Menace. They play really good. Menace. It's the second time that I saw them, but this time they play really good. I really enjoyed it a lot, to be honest. What else? GBH. They were good. And I think I saw also another Mexican band that is there are friends that is called Acides. They play like more like discharge type of music, like thrash, meta, thrash punk, or crossover. It was fucking good. And some bands that I right now. Obviously in Far Riot they play really good as always. Yeah, basically I saw others, but I don't remember, to be honest. 3 days without sleeping and drinking, having fun with the friends. Some memories are like blurred memories.
And you ate a lot of fish and chips.
Yeah, some of them, and but well, the fucking SEALs and Blackpool are the real punks and are the ones that are getting. They fucking stole your fucking food, man. So, yeah, those fucking birds are the real punks, We're throwing some chips to them. But yeah, we play and more cheaper than London, man. Everything is more cheaper in Blackpool, obviously, right?
Yeah. So during the first lockdown, 2.5 years ago, you started another project called Mess. How did that come about?
Before that, I saw Grade 2. They play fucking good. The kids from Grade 2. That's what I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, Mess. It came into 2020. It was supposed to be only a project, an idea from Abraham, one of my best friends that lives in Mexico City, and also he's the guitar player of Mess and singer, and guitar player and singer of this oi band from Mexico City that is called Sparrow 68. That is fucking good also. And we were talking about, and we were like, I went to Mexico City to a concert. I don't remember. Also the drummer Miguel, but he was a part. We were drinking, and I told him, right? I think we were in a gothic bar or post-punk bar. I don't remember really well. A dark wave bar or whatever with gothic people. And I told him like, hey man, I have this idea for this project. We should make a project to make music from certain time and from certain bands and certain sounds of the 80s, and like let's make like a love letter to those bands. And he was like, oh, I was about to tell you that we need to do a project together, and exactly about that, the bands that we love and certain sound and certain time of it. And yeah, basically a love letter to No Future Record, Cherry Red Record, Riot City Record. Yeah, basically, and also Miguel was there, and we told him like, oh yeah, it sounds like a really fucking idea, and that's it. It was like that, but the months passed by, and suddenly we're in the middle of COVID pandemic, and then that time is when I pinged Abraham and I told him like, hey man, do you remember this that we talked? Let's start it right now. Let's write some music in our houses. And yeah, basically Mess was like that. And basically Abraham and myself did the first EP. Only he and myself did it. And yeah, there were 5 songs, and obviously Miguel, that is also the drummer of Himnos, he know it because he was on that talk when we were in Mexico City. But that's when I reached to him like, hey, it seems that we are creating this song. Oh yes, and we were thinking like, it's going to be only a project, and that's it. And yeah, basically it was supposed only for us. So let's record these songs and listen it. But one day I put it on when we have the demo of that 5 songs demo. put it on online, and 30 minutes after, Edu from Mendeku Disca told me like, "Oh, I fucking love it. I'm going to put it on a LP for you guys. Do you want it? If so, everything you release, I wanted to put it on my label." And boom, the rest of it is history. So suddenly, a lot of people was receiving really well Mess, and basically it's what we are right now. And yeah, suddenly I invite also the bass player, Chespi, and he loves also the same type of music. He understands it really well. That's why we invite him. And we talked with Miguel. So like, oh, I think we are going to have some gigs. We want to go. You want to try it? And, oh yes, of course. And we were thinking we were just supposed to play a few gigs and that's it. But no, it seems that people like it a lot, and then that's when we started to create more and more music. And basically, all the music was created on the pandemic. Yeah, that's the history of Mess.
So the Mess has a vinyl release due out October, November, and which label is that coming out again?
It's called Mendeku Discac. It's a word in Basque, and it's from the Basque country, the north part of Spain. And yeah, basically our second EP has been released like 1 week ago. It has a delay from 10 months delay or something like that. It was supposed to be the beginning of the year or something like that. But yeah, well, at last it's released. It was the last week. So if someone is seeing this, you can grab it, because the first one, it was sold out in like 3 weeks. So there's a lot of people asking me for a rec or LP or whatever. So now is your opportunity. You want to hear the second EP, have it. You need to grab it right now. And yeah, basically we have 1 week that this second EP is released. There's coming another 2 releases soon also.
But also there's a Himnos release.
Oh yes, also yes. The Himnos release is going to come in 3 weeks more. It's been done by Crossbar Records. It's a new independent label from Matt from United States. Cheers to him. To be honest, I don't know where he hears us, but he contacted us and offered us like to do a split with a Spanish band, and told us, I want to create this LP with this band. Do you want it? And we're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. And basically, it's the release we are going to be. It's going to be available in 3 weeks more. And let's see how it goes. I think it's going to be really well, to be honest. Right now, I think it's pressing, the record is pressing on Pirate Press. So I think they're going to be in 3 more weeks.
Cool. So when you're writing a song, how do you decide which songs you're going to sing in Spanish and which songs you're going to sing in English?
Yes, well, in Himnos, we only write in Spanish. Only when we do covers, we cover. Normally, we do the covers on English. But with Mess, it's because we find it more natural to write it in English. Why? Because when we did Mess, it was with the idea to pay tribute to those bands, certain sound, from certain age, right? But the majority of those bands were from England, and it's music made in English. So we found it more natural to do it in English. But when we do the music, we don't think like, this is going to be in Spanish or in English. No, if it came natural, we write it in English. If it came natural, we put it in Spanish. And to be honest, I find it more easy to write in English because they have more shorter words for me. So it's more, I don't know, the way that I write is more easier for me to write in English. So yeah, basically, when we do it like that, it came in a natural way like that. This song, I think, is better in Spanish. I think it came natural to do it. And basically, the majority of the bands that we're paying tribute to the song are from England, the majority of them. So that's why.
So I picked out 3 songs from Himnos that Hazel ECF. What was that about?
Yeah, that song was written by Mauro, the singer of Himnos. It's about the Euro Championship in the 80s, if I'm not wrong. About this game in Belgium from Liverpool against Juventus, if I'm not wrong. and the tragedy that it came. The tragedy came up because of that game, and yeah, basically it's about the football violence, the tragedy that it happens, and everything around that situation.
And the second one, 1968. What happened
Yeah,
in 1968?
yeah, that song I wrote it. It's about the things that happened in that year, because at that time of the war, as we saw it on documentaries and people that talk about it, a lot of things happen on that year, like in political related, socially, or in sport, even in fashion or in music. So it talks about, for example, in Mexico, 68 was the Olympics, but 2 months before that, 2 of October, that is a well remembered date here in Mexico, the president at that time, with the military, killed a lot of protesters that were, all of the protesters were students. So there was a really bad killing in that protest. And basically, the president of that time, it was from the party that this only party had been winning the elections like from 80 years. It's like it was the perfect dictatorship, with masquerade as a democracy. So yeah, it's about that. It's about the Olympics also, because Peter, John, were the guys that at that time raised the fist with a black glove, but also the things that happened in Yugoslavia, also that happened about all the fashion related to the 60s and the music, obviously, and also in this spaceship war, they were sending a lot of, I don't remember like the name, satélites in Spanish. I don't remember in English, but well, it's everything related on that day, because a lot of things happen on that day, to be honest, on 68.
And the third one I picked out was hymnos. What does hymnos mean?
Himnos is a Spanish word for anthems, for hymns. Yeah, basically that name came because we want to commemorate or remember the songs you sing with your friends in your neighborhood, or in the bar, or wherever you hang around. Those songs that remember friendship and good times. That's songs that make you sing along with, hanging out with your friends. That are like fucking anthems. That's why we wanted to call the band anthem, to commemorate those friendship, those songs that mark some part of your life with your friends.
So you've spent a bit of time in London, but when
Yes.
you're coming back in November with Mess, you're not playing the UK. You're playing some dates
No,
in Spain, aren't you, and Germany?
exactly. You were supposed to be, the first idea is went to UK, to be honest. And we have like 2 or 3 gigs in there, like planning. But Edu from Mendeku Discat, that is the one doing the tour, is starting to create the tour, or arranging the dates. He's starting to check that the UK dates were apart, and we were like, I don't know, it was getting out of the plan. So he decided, or basically naturally came, that the tour is being done like this it is right now. Because if we put the UK dates, we were going to lose a lot of dates, the dates that we're playing right now. So we wanted, to be honest, but suddenly the cities, the location, we were not working out. But right now it's not official, and we are starting to work in the background. It seems that is starting to be creating a second tour for the next year, for more dates in Europe, and the first dates are going to be the UK and Ireland, and let's see if in another places, Scotland or whatever. Let's start to see, but there's starting to be a lot of interest. So there's starting to be a lot of another countries, Denmark, Greece, and some cities from there. So let's see how it goes first, and this tour. Let's see if people like it. Is the first thing, and we need to play good. So if we made it, it's for sure that we're going to do the second tour. And we're in the first day is going to be UK. I wanted to, and all the band want to. It's going to be like, man, it's going to be a part that we have a lot of friends and a lot of bands friends from there. It's basically, come on, we need to play on the land that we are making some tribute to the majority of the band and the sounds from that country.
Thank you, Affif, from Mess and from Himnos.
Thanks a lot,
Good chatting with you, and thank you very much for doing the cover of Condemned.
No, thanks a lot to you guys to bring really, really fucking good anthem, a really good hymnos, and it's one of my fucking best, one of my fucking favorite boy songs, to be honest. And it's a really honor to be talking to you, and that you show some interest to a really unknown Mexican band in the other side of the world, man.